Welcome back to our fourth installment of Securing Our Buckskin Legacy. Today, I'm joined by Coach Kyle Rhoades, Laclede County C-5 Athletics Director. Today, we want to answer some questions, some of those burning questions, about our district and how we could potentially offer sports to our students at a high school level. Now, anyone who knows me very well at all knows that sports is probably not my wheelhouse of knowledge. So I'm happy to allow Coach Rhoades to explain all the things that confuse all of us. Well, maybe just me. Thanks for joining me today, Coach Rhoades. So the first question is, Julie Barber has seen some of our students really perform at the top of their classes whenever they leave our district. And so a big burning question that people are asking is, what sports would we even offer if we had a high school? And would we lose any sports? And if so, what would that be?
Right now, our goal is to keep the same sports that we have.
Okay.
Football is a big component of Julie Barber. Along with everything else, it's just the community-driven sports that we all come together and we play. So we want to keep everything, but we will probably have to add a sport. For an example, softball to be Title IX accepted, to hold compliance with that.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking of right now. That could all change.
Okay.
But
like to keep what we've got, but that would require us to add possibly softball to counteract that baseball for boys.
Yes.
Okay. But like to keep what we got.
Yes.
Okay. So the next question is, what is MSHSAA? Because not everybody knows all these sports lingo words. And then what about class size in that sports lingo mindset if we added a high school? Talk a little bit about MSHSAA and class size for our sports.
Okay. Well, MSHSAA is the Missouri State High School Athletic Association.
Okay.
That is the governing body of all athletics and where they set rules, standards, and qualifications for every sport. In that's where we also play our districts, sectionals, and state playoffs.
Okay.
They hold all the rules for that. In the class size, of course, they specify each classification by your enrollment, and they fluctuate that. And for an example, would be possibly a class 2 in football, but a class 1 in wrestling, just because of the way the sports are. And we can fluctuate in football. Just depending on what happens if we blow up here and, just grow crazy like out here at Julie Barber. We could go to class 3.
So you're using kind of our numbers right now of what we're thinking the kids in the future would look like if we had, a high school with 250 kids, 240 kids, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
Okay, so what does it look like then for our sports if we chose the option of, as we had a high school, we do it only one grade level at a time? So like if we kept our 9th graders next year, that's not possible, but if we kept our 9th graders next year, and then we kept those as sophomores the next year, and we just increased a year at a time, what does that look like for sports how does that benefit us? What does it look like for freshmen versus junior varsity versus varsity teams? What does that look like for us?
Well, the first thing we have to look at is right now, since we're a K-8 school, we're not in the conference. And so our scheduling would be kind of hit and miss. It might be great, it might be hard. It just depends on what the high school level is.
Okay.
But we would more than likely start at, if we could, a freshman level or a JV level. I'd prefer a freshman level, so we're starting our kids out at an equal playing field for everybody that we're playing, which might be easier at the freshman level than at the varsity level, if that makes sense.
Yep, it does.
Because everybody wants to get their freshmen more games or get games with somebody cancels. And so freshmen will start easy, I would think. But we would possibly, depending on if we get into a conference, we'd start at a JV schedule, and then our freshmen, by their time their sophomore, junior year, they'd be looking at playing a varsity schedule on a Friday night.
Okay, so we wouldn't have to wait for varsity sports for those kids to become seniors. We could do that ahead of time.
We could start at their sophomore year, we could start at their JV year.
So is there anything else there that you can think about that would benefit or hinder our athletes, or does that sound like that's a pretty workable thing in the world of sports and MSHSAA?
I think one of the greatest things that our kids will get is that our kids will get to play. A lot of the kids, they go off to the other schools and they lose that friendship. They don't have that community that they once had. And so they feel left out when they're not left out. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, they're not.
But when life changes, things change.
The makeup of the team changes.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
And so whenever you're able to keep a group together, a freshman class together, and they all go up, then they all get to play. There's so many athletes that we've had. Had we had a high school, I would really like to see where some of those kids would be today.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those kids dropped out because they didn't have the guidance. They didn't have that, hey, I know this kid and he needs a little extra.
Yeah.
Or this is the best thing for him.
Wow.
And so.
Cool. Okay, great perspective. So the last big question I think parents want to know is kind of, future-minded and thinking about college, right? So when you think about college scouting opportunities, would our Buckskin High School kids have those same kind of opportunities for college scouting? Would our kids, be able to play for colleges? Would they get signed for sports to play in college? What does that look like?
I think, in all honesty, yes, it's always great to play for the bigger, better teams. Yes, you get more looks at that level because you're playing at the highest level that you can play. But in reality, there's all kinds of athletes at the NAIA level. There's all kinds of athletes at the D3 level. There's all kinds of athletes at the D2 level. Okay. And so with that, as far as coaching standpoint, we would want to send our football team to a great football camp to get eyes out of season. Send our basketball players to a great camp. Our baseball players, hey, you need to go to this showcase, go to this showcase, and encourage our kids to go places, because we can't always do it as coaches. The kids have to do a lot of that themselves. Yeah. Now, it's our job to put them in the right areas to play. Yeah. But
provide the experiences.
Provide the experiences. But are they capable? Yes, they're more than capable of getting that college signee on a Friday night.
If we had a high school.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that might answer all of my questions for now. Do you have anything else that you think I've forgotten, or anything else you want to add?
Nothing I forgot. I just think it'd be really cool to see our kids stick together. Yeah. And to play for JAB.
Yeah. Really cool to see our Buckskins who have grown together as teams get to continue together as a team. Yeah, I agree. All right, well, thanks to Coach Rhoades, our amazing athletic director. He's helped answer a lot of my questions about sports, and you all know I'm always learning. So tune in, and so am I, all the time, right? Don't forget to keep tuning in for our next video in the series, but also don't forget that the special board meeting has been set for April the 28th at 6 p.m. here at the school. We'd love to invite the entire community to come out, because that is a listening session. So the Board of Education will be hearing from lots of patrons. Please come out to the community meeting, which is also our special board meeting, April 28th at 6 p.m. Go Buckskins!